I am here with Val Carlson, Chief Creative Officer at Critical Mass. Val, it's so good to have you here.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm excited to talk about the creative process and how it is changing in the era of AI. We just had your colleague on that was sharing with us some of the ways that he sees the strategy of advertising changing. What AI tools is your team using right now in your creative process, and what job is it doing for you?
Oh, it's a great question. I mean, it's evolved so much over the last couple of years, but right now we're using Adobe Firefly. We are using Frame.io for film. We obviously use the Adobe Creative Suite. But it's been so interesting to see the tools evolve and to see us pull them all together. I think that's what's been amazing about this evolution, is you can go straight from something that was a thought or a concept into something that's a generative piece of art. So you can get people excited about it. Then you can go straight to camera and you can edit in like 2 seconds. Like the whole pipeline has changed. It's absolutely amazing.
Now, I have to ask you, is it saving you time? Because a lot of people will say, hey, it can generate the first draft, and that applies to generative media as well.
Yeah.
But we have to do just as much work to edit the first draft as we did if we just came up with a better one in the first place. Is it actually saving you time?
No, it's not. I mean, honestly, the secret is a couple different things, right? You still want to go through the full creative process, and you want to make sure that you're doing something that is not derivative. We love the word generative. That makes so much sense to us because it's a process. And I think that what's happening is amazing, because if you're doing it correctly and you're talking to your clients along the way, you're innovating. You're not just creating something, you're making things bigger, better, more exciting, and you're touching more channels. So I think no, and I also think that there are some perceptions about how long it takes to do things in AI that are very untrue. I mean, certain parts of the process, you have to be very careful that you're not recreating something that's already been created, and that takes time. So there's human in the loop. I know people say this a lot. It's a reality, 100%.
One of the questions I wanted to ask you is, we've heard now Adobe this week is launching a product. It's sort of like the forward deployed engineer for customers. And the idea is that they send in their brightest minds to sort of help customers use the AI better.
Yes.
And it kind of relates back to a topic we've been talking to a lot on this show, which is that companies don't have the right people on the ground to use AI. They can buy the software, but they don't have the right talent, essentially. How do you see that coming up with your clients? I mean, are they coming to you saying, hey, we want to use AI, but we don't have the right people, so you must be the expert. You use it for us. Are they mandating that we want to see your AI version and also your human version alongside each other?
There's so many questions in there. First, I want to comment on what you said about Adobe, because I think it's a beautiful model. So what they're doing with Firefly Foundry is pretty incredible, offering that sort of support to let people know how the process works, and giving attribution to artists and giving support, I think, is the key to everything in regards to working in AI. I think it's really important. Your second question about clients and their perceptions and what they ask for is multi-layered. We do have clients that say to us, I want you to use AI because I want it to be cheaper. And then we come back and we talk to them and educate them and say, okay, here is your brief, and here are the types of things that we need to do. And it may not be cheaper, but it will be better, and this is why. Or they will ask for what you said earlier, like expertise, right? So we could bring a specialist into an internal team, and we love to do that. We're very comfortable partnering with our clients in that way.
Now, you talked about using Adobe's products. There are also a multitude of startups that are offering a number of similar products as well.
Sure.
Do you prefer to go with bigger enterprises products, or are startup solutions, they're nimble, they're fast, sometimes they are the point solution. They don't have, you don't have to buy the whole suite.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Do you prefer in some cases to use startups AI tools?
I think it's good for everyone to know what they are and how they work. So what I do, I encourage my people to, at home, use whatever they want to use and play and try to understand what that looks like. But to be totally honest, we don't use a lot of those little startup tools because there isn't a lot of rigor behind them. And we have to be very careful.
Rigor meaning what?
About attribution for generative art. Like, I really love that Adobe, for instance, has what they call a nutrition label on their AI-generated products. Like, being able to look at an image and understand exactly where it came from, and being an artist and being able to opt out, I think that's a beautiful thing. So from a legal perspective, there are things that we just don't do for our clients. We want to make sure we protect them. We're not doing anything that would get them into trouble. So, you know, use it all and then make smart decisions.
Right, right. I do want to ask you, you know, you are at the center of this debate. Can AI do the creative job?
Yeah, sure.
And like you said, you know, there's a lot of reasons it can't. But what scares you right now?
Sora. I think that deepfakes scare me to death, to be very honest. And I think that the division that we see, you know, in our world, and the way that, you know, people can manipulate things is very scary to me, because as a creative person, one of the things that I look for is community, empathy, people that can bring ideas from the entire world, from different perspectives. And so when I see a division and I see that it is available to everyone, basically for free, that makes me very nervous.
And what do you think of this idea that, what did you think of Sora initially when it first came out, and the fact that people are using it?
I mean, listen, when the technology first started arriving and we started seeing that video would be created, I was excited. You know, there's a number of reasons why that's good. Our clients really sometimes have a hard time selling things up to the C-level because the C-suite sometimes doesn't know what a storyboard is. So like getting things out quickly and showing and sharing what something will look like when it moves is good for us because we make better work. It's really the legalities, the attribution, you know, all of that stuff. That stuff is scary, and I think we have to be very careful.
Right. And do you think people care about that stuff less nowadays than they used to? Has the game changed?
I guess the average person, my opinion is that they do care less because they're used to it, right? Going from Instagram to TikTok to now something like a Sora, it's just a natural evolution. I think that you do see backlash from people that are of the creative community because they're concerned not only about, you know, where is this headed, but just protecting, again, sort of the creative quality, making sure things are at the level that they should be. There's a lot of things that we worry about in this industry. And I think a lot of us have been vocal and said, oh, let's be careful about that. Let's protect our clients.
Right. Well, Val, it's a fast-moving space, and I want to thank you for taking the time to chat with us about it. That is Val Carlson, the Chief Creative Officer at Critical Mass.
My pleasure.
Thanks
Thank you.
very much.